Hello, TankSlayer710 here, and today I'm going to do a slightly different video. I'm just going to kind of freestyle this as a review of a new premium tank I got during the Blitz Winter Fair, the Strv 74A2. In this review, I'll be going over how it fares in the three major aspects of a tank: its firepower, its armor, and its mobility. I'll also be comparing it to other Tier 6 tanks, and I'll be showing some gameplay, so make sure to stick around for that. To start out with a bit of historical background, this tank was the prototype for the Strv 74, which became a light tank of the Swedish Army from 1957 to the late 1960s. This variant was never actually used. It had a completely different turret, though the chassis remained mostly the same. Now, let's see some gameplay. Okay, so for our first round, me and a platoon mate are on Canal, in a slightly unfavorable matchup as we have some Tier 7 tanks on both sides. At first, I'm thinking that I might want to go flank around to A to try to put in some effective fire, but since we have basically most other light and medium tanks on our team, we decided to head to D instead. So it works. You can see how long the clip reload is for this, and so even though it does almost 450 damage a clip, if you have a high roll clip, it still takes a really long time to reload, so you're much better at medium ranges at the beginning of the round to try to put some shots in with this IKEA gun, which is not always accurate, as you will soon see. So I first spotted Cheery and decided to open fire on it. One IKEA miss. God, made an IKEA 2 hits, and then I decided, I'm going to go for the clip reload. Next we have two T-37s and an LTTB. And they might be a bigger problem. I don't know if the T-37s have the autoloader or not, but our T-37 is just about to get freaking swarmed. And so that's kind of the end of him. So we lost our T-37, and I decided to put more rounds into Cheery because I think he's aiming at the LTTB right now. Little do I know, he decided to change his aim to me, but luckily since he only had 2 more shells from the clip, I can put in the rest of my IKEA rounds and move. And I somehow get a bounce off this not very good armor profile of only 76mm at the front and 63 at the sides and rear, and 76 on the front of the turret, 76 on the side, and 51 at the rear, which we'll check out after this round. The LTTB flanks around, I miss one IKEA shot, second shot goes in, and my platoon mate finishes off the LTTB. Fortunately, right after he finishes the LTTB off, he gets knocked out by the T-37. And now I'm only on 312 health and my clip is reloading. So, my next idea is that since I can't take on the T-37s at once, I decide, you know what, I'm going to try to rush the Cheery. So, I'm driving over here and I'm just praying that this Cheeto doesn't notice me. And will he? Nope. The Cheeto decided not to notice me, or said to go for my other teammates first, and so I'm going to get the drop on this Cheery and knock it out. And bang. Cheery has been knocked out. So now we just got a T-37 left, which is paying a lot more attention to the LTTB, and so the power of the IKEA gun finishes them off. So now they only have an M6 and a Cheeto left, which shouldn't be that hard to knock out. The Cheeto is not doing that well on hit points. That was really dumb of me. Cheeto was on full health points, but he's about to get knocked out because everyone else is here, and I'm going to nab the kill on this Cheeto, which brings me up to 3 kills, and there's no way I'm going to get the kill on the M6. My clip isn't going to even reload in time. So not too bad for a Tier 6 tank in a Tier 7 game. We got 3 kills, and we won. Now checking the post-battle stats. I only got a 2nd class mastery badge, a pretty good amount of credits, but I skipped that over so I won't see. And the LTTB did better me, but I did 2nd best on the team inside of a Tier 6 tank in a Tier 7 round, so not that bad. And now we see at Tank Compare at blitzstars.com how this tank stacks up against some of its Tier 6 competition. This tank is in most parts better than the AMX-12T, the only other auto-loading Tier 6 tank, in terms of DPM, though it does fall short compared to non-auto-loading tanks such as the M4A3E8 and the T-3485. When it comes to penetration, this tank is about average with everything else, not really excelling or falling behind in anything. Weapon handling wise, this tank actually performs better than both of its single-shot counterparts, though it does perform worse than the AMX-12T. In mobility, this tank performs worse than the AMX-12T, the Sherman, or the T-3485, though obviously as its premium it does have a better credit coefficient. Also, the average player efficiency of this is worse than the AMX-12T, though better than the Sherman, and worse than the T-3485s. All in all, this tank is about average with its competition, And I don't think as a premium tank it really stands out in terms of statistics. For armor profiles, the Stridsvagen 7482 doesn't really have much of one. For frontal armor, it has 76 millimeters in some places, 51 in other places, but mostly about 63 millimeters of armor. Side armor is also 63, but at some points it's only 51. Rear armor can range from 76 millimeters all the way down to 12. And if we look at it under the penetration model from the Cheeto's gun, this thing basically has no effective armor. The Cheeto can go through almost anywhere on the front except for the small angles at the side. And with almost no gun depression, this can't really make itself effective because the Cheeto can just pen anywhere through the lower plate. Also, the side, even if you side scrape, enemy shells can still go through the angle at your front, which makes it kind of ineffective. Also from the side, there is literally no part that the Cheeto can't pen, and with a kind of average gun, the Cheeto would be able to knock this tank out rather fast. And the rear actually seems to have half-decent armor compared to the rest of it, as the Cheeto can't really pen the top plate. But the back is easily pennable. Mainly from the front, this will keep out high explosive, but this won't really keep out any standard ammunition shells, as you're going to see in these clips ahead. Now me and my platoon mate are also in kind of unfavorable matchmaking with some tier 7s in the round on Dynasty's Pearl, which is the newest map added into this game as of update 4.5. And I decide, well, I think it's going to be smartest for me to head around to the left of the map, but I don't know if my team is going to do it, but our team decides to head over to the left of the map, so I ask for support, and we decide to head around to the left. With our WotB taking the lead, a Sperrpanzer behind me, T-37, and my platoon mate, who's in a Coral Morimine, lagging behind a little bit as he's in a heavy tank. Here you can kind of see the average engine power of the engine on this tank, which is supposed to be tier 7, but I think the Twin Skanda WotB 607, which is the Swedish engine on this tank, probably also made in IKEA, actually isn't that powerful, and I think this tank's a little bit too sluggish for its medium tank role. And that's also why I think it favors engagements at medium ranges at the beginning of the battle and then close ranges later. And so, somehow the armor profile still holds up, even though it should not be that good. And I go into engage the Easy 8. Look at this. One shot misses. Second shot bounces. And then finally the third shot pens, but I really should not have ended that badly. Should have done a lot more damage to that Easy 8. This IKEA gun can be kind of trollish sometimes. And you'll also see later in this match, it just does not hold up that well against some other enemy tanks. Also, my aiming isn't that good because I try to no-scope everyone, which doesn't usually end that well. Next, we decide to drive up near the AMX M445, which is engaging our IS-2 along with the KV-2 Oh my god! I see my life flash before my eyes. And nope, he doesn't aim for me for some reason. I feel like he could have one-shot me. My frontal armor, yeah, it's lower than whatever. I think the KV-2's AT pen is almost 100 millimeters. But this KV-2 just gets ganged on, and this is kind of the end of him. He tries to aim at me, but I get behind in cover, and the KV-2 gets knocked out. So that's pretty good. But in the end, playing in the city doesn't allow you to play your strength this tank. This was not a smart decision. I just sat there and waited for the SU-100 to shoot me, and I derped one of the IKEA shots, so that didn't really end that well. So I decide, you know, if I stay here, I'm going to die. If I go, I'm probably going to die, even though we're still winning. And whoop, the power of Sweden was with me there. The Swedish meatballs saved me. And the T-150 missed, and I got some lag there. 2 shots derped against the T-150. Yeah, this IKEA gun, and then, how? That shouldn't have hit, but I guess it did hit. And my teammate's slightly over-angling, at least I thought, but he's also trying to angle against the T-150, so he kind of has no chance here. He's completely surrounded. And he's about to die. But yeah, he's dead. So now we have a WotB and a Sperrpanzer 1C left. And the WotB actually is a really good player. And yeah, my platoon mate's asking me not to use this film, and I'm like, wow. I think I'm still going to use it anyway. I might, yeah, I don't really like the keyboard on this iPad. It's not that effective, and it has weird autocorrects. Yeah, we got pretty wrecked, but our WotB just knocked out the SU-100, so I think we're okay. But our Sperrpanzer is AFK, so it's kind of all up to the Cromwell to win this, and on 53 health, unless he's like a Pramo player, he's not going to win. And so he fires a shot against the T-150, it bounces, and he gets wrecked. Yeah, I really don't like this keyboard. And so now all we have left is a Spähpanzer 1C on almost full health. That could have probably helped a little bit more. So, sorry about the last round. I didn't end up filming the team losses, but we did pretty bad. I didn't do that good myself, and our Spähpanzer did pretty god-awful. So now, we're actually finally in favorable matchmaking. It's a full Tier 6 and Tier 5 round. We're at the top of the tier, so I tell my team to go left, and some people agree. Our Jagdpanzer decides not to agree. But I think he still ends up... No, he doesn't end up going left. He decides to YOLO Swaggins it down the right. Good job, Jagdpanzer. Gotta love that team play. Oh, he's finally coming back. And so, unsurprisingly, they all decided to go left as well. Which might be okay. I don't know what this guy was thinking. This guy decided to YOLO derp 1 IKEA shot and derps 2 IKEA shots. And you're like, no, I'm going for the reload. This IKEA gun, I sort of like it. When it hits, it can do a pretty good amount of clip damage, but otherwise it's not that strong. More IKEA shots about to come up. Made in Sweden, cruddy shells. Fire. I hit the machine gun port on the Sherman and ricocheted. Second shot goes in, and I'm like, no, I'm not going to even fire the third shot. He only has his gun mantlet showing, so I decided not to fire it. Thinking about taking a blind shot, or a no-scope shot at the T-37, and decide not to. Alright, we have our... my platoon mate's moving up to the hill, and he's going to go into a not really hold-down position, but a position where they can only most of the time fire at his turret, even though I think he's over-angling a little bit. And I'm not pressing the ridge because of that KV-2, so I'm really hoping the KV-2 will use his shot on my platoon mate when I look behind me and we're being flanked. So this is one thing where the gun is really good at, finishing off low-health tanks. And I probably would have killed that T-37 as well, but my platoon mate got him, which is totally fine. So now, I'm on the reload, so I decide, you know what, I'm going to head back behind. Also, a Panzer IV Anko has decided to engage us, so I think, well, it's going to take me 2 clips to knock him out. If I ask for support and say I'm going to go attack him. So looking at the minimap, I'm not going to get that much support, but hopefully I won't die. So using the Wreck of the Dead Sherman as cover, I put my clip into him. He puts 1 shot back into me. But it's way too late for him because my teammates turned around and the MT-25 knocks him out. So now they just have a KV-2 and a KV-1S left. And this is not going to be that difficult of a battle to win. The KV-2 gets knocked up by my platoon mate, who is now on 3 kills. Got it. Nice job, Jagdpanzer IV. Alright, now we got a KV-1S, and he is definitely done. I thought I was not going to get 1 shot, and then I realized, oh, he doesn't have the fully upgraded gun. So, bounce 1 shot, put 1 more shot into him, and now I have to go for the clip reload. So I decided to try to run, and then, yeah, that happens. So I'm using a strategy. It doesn't really have a name, but it's a little bit like a side strafing, where you just move back and forth, and it really throws the opponent's aim off, especially if they're not a very good player. And so I get the kill on the KV-1S. And yeah, so now to the post-battle results screen. Granted, I do have a premium account running because of the one Wargaming gave out, but I got a pretty good amount of credits for a Tier 6 tank. Even though I didn't do the best on the team, I still did half decent, and I only did 200 damage left. Less than the MT-25, which did top on the team. So yeah, now the conclusion. Yeah, so that's it for the last round. As a final grade on the attributes of tanks. For firepower, I give it a 7 out of 10. Because of its auto-loading capabilities and being able to dish off 450 damage per clip is pretty effective. For its armor, I give it a 4 out of 10, as it can stop all HE, but most of the time, all AP just goes straight through it, though it can get some lucky bounces. And for its speed, I give it a 5 out of 10, as it's a little bit slower than the average medium, but it's not heavy level slow. So yeah, that's it for this review. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed, please click the like button, and if you really enjoyed, please think about hitting the subscribe button to see all my uploads when I first publish them. Thanks!